Hey guys, hope you all have been well. Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about the worst products I found or have used, purchased in 2020. There might be one or two that I really would not recommend to anybody, but quite a few of these products are just ones that did not work out for me. Before we begin though, you're probably wondering, Annabelle, that's like the least amount of makeup I've seen you use in a while, and there is a reason for it. I actually wanted to do a little more, but as you can hear guys, there is no sound, so that means my air conditioner is not on, and it's not by choice. It is freaking hot outside, but my air conditioner is broken and I'm getting it replaced tomorrow, so I need to just like do the minimum. So it's just a simple day to talk about stuff I didn't like. Let's get into it. The first one is on the top of the list because it's probably the worst thing that I tried in 2020, and that is the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. I absolutely hated that thing. I probably used it a handful of times, and every single time I used it, it would dry up on my lids, and then when I apply the eyeshadow on top, it would just be like patchy and it skips and it's just horrible. It's so drying on the lids, and I have oily skin, hence I have oily eyelids, and it was just a hot mess. I didn't even give that to somebody. I literally threw it away because I did not feel comfortable giving that to someone I cared about and be like, here's a product that is like just sucks. Second thing on the list was the e.l.f. Primer Infused blush in Always Fiery. The actual pigment on the blush was really good. It was a solid like blush formula. However, the color just happened to not work out for me. It was a very like rich, bright red shade, and I think people who have like dark to deeper complexion, it would look absolutely stunning on them, but on me it was just a little too bright for the blush look that I tend to go for, and so I just gave it away hoping that someone else make me good use of it. Number 3, Juvia's Place the Tribe Volume 3 highlighter. This highlighter was absolutely stunning, and I know a lot of people love this highlighter, but it was just too intense for my liking. I like these types of highlighters. For me, this is about as glowy as I'm going to go. This is heavily highlighted for me. This is like a lot. And so if I compare this to the Juvia's one, the Juvia's Place is like ice. It's so frosty and like just metallic on the skin, and so it's beautiful if you have great skin, but I don't. My face is textured. I have a lot of past acne scarring. I have a lot of pores, and so I'm very particular with my highlighters. So even though I really wanted to keep it and really like enjoy it, but it didn't work well with my textured skin. Next up, we have the Jelly Much Shadows. I forgot what they're called. I think Jelly Much Shadows from Colourpop, and I did try two from Wild Nothings, or maybe it's that other one, the variety, Garden Variety maybe. But I tried two different kinds. I feel like it's almost a hit. The issue that I have is because of that jelly texture, the application isn't smooth. You kind of get like heavier spots of like shimmer, and it kind of disappears and then comes back again. It's not a consistent application with the shimmer. And I think that has to do with the kind of adhesive that is in there, that kind of jelly texture. So if they worked on the adhesive, the binder of the product, then I think it would be a lot better. Like I did enjoy it. I just felt like every time I had to kind of fix a spot, other spots would get too chunky. So it was difficult to work with. Next up is the Milk Holographic Highlighter Stick, and I did have the shade in Mars. I know that they have other cream highlighters, but that was the only one that I tried, and so it's the only one I'm going to speak to. It wasn't horrible. I could have made it work, especially if I used like a lighter foundation and kept my look very soft, but I found that even in those cases, I really had to be careful with how I would apply it onto my skin because it was easy to lift the base makeup underneath. So let's say I did everything already and I wanted to put that cream highlighter up on top. Whether I used patting motion, whether I buffed it in softly, you could still see the lift of the foundation underneath. And I don't know anyone who would appreciate that happening after you've done the work underneath, and that's kind kind of like the final step before you powder or set anything on your face. So I personally wouldn't recommend it. I prefer the matchsticks from Fenty. I feel like they go on a lot smoother and it doesn't lift my foundation. But I also can see how it will work for people who do barely their makeup, because there isn't much product to lift from, if that makes sense. I'm actually on my last product. There wasn't much that I didn't like or, I consider like absolutely horrible. Again, these are just products that didn't work out for me. I wanted to create a list, and so I had to go and dive into even products that were so for me. So the last product is the Natasha Denona Mini Nude Palette. It is not a bad product at all. I can see why people like the formula. For me though, I have tried other formulas that I like a whole lot better. Like I like the Charlotte Tilbury formula. I like the Colourpop. Pat McGrath is like my newest obsession, my MAC shadows. And so I didn't feel like that small palette would add anything to my collection that I didn't already have. I can't speak to her bigger palettes. I've only tried the mini. So if you wanted to leave some feedback down below, maybe you're more experienced with her eyeshadow palettes, let me know. Is there a difference between her bigger palettes and her smaller palettes? I'm really curious because I have heard so much great things about Natasha Denona, and my first experience was kind of so. I do have her Chromium liquid eyeshadow, and I've been liking that. I really love the color on it. But as far as an actual palette, I wasn't blown away with that one. And it was a color story that was like completely up my alley. So again, it's just the formula for me. I didn't get that wow factor that some people have, spoken about in terms of her eyeshadow formula. And that is it. That is pretty much everything that I wanted to go over. Again, it's just maybe one or two things that I really wouldn't recommend to you guys. And I'm actually quite happy about that because I did put in a bit more money into purchasing makeup this year as compared to last, given I was on a no buy. And most of the stuff that I purchased, I did end up liking. So that is a win for me. Something good about 2020. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me in this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. If you want to list your worst products of 2020, let a girl know. I do love reading all the comments. I think that last week I got through and commented to people within the past month. I just sat there and I was commenting back to people. And so don't worry, I really do read your comments. Guys, I won't be posting this on Instagram. I literally just slap stuff on so that I can press record. Till the next video, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Bye, guys. Okay, story time. Bonus part of this video, because I had quite the morning yesterday and I was PO'd. Here's what happened. Yesterday, I needed to get my annual blood work, the lab stuff done, right? This place opens at 8 o'clock, but there is a line by 7:30. So I get there at 7:20. I'm about number 7. By the time it's about to open, right? We're maybe 3 minutes before it's 8 o'clock. The line is long. There are about 30 people in this line, and this is just like a clinic. And mind you, no one is sitting down. There aren't chairs. We're standing underneath the tree. It is hot early morning. So they open up the doors, and there's a boy with this little tabletop and then a lady beside him. And the lady goes, "If you're here for lab work, this line." You would think common sense, just sense in general, right? We're already in one line. So if you are going to go to the lab, we would just break away and you would continue in such line in the order that you came. But no. Some people thought otherwise, and I was not having it. The people towards the middle and the back of the line run up and is just disregarding all the people that are in the front of the line. These guys were not there since 7:20. I know for a fact. And so there are people that are in the front of the line that really should not be there. I was not going to just not do anything. I have been there for 40 minutes already. I'm standing on the sidewalk. There's no air conditioner. There's a lot of people around me. I'm wearing a mask. It's hot, and on top of all of that, I'm hungry. Newsflash, fasting does things to you. So what did this girl do? Well, I'll tell you. I went up to the front of the line where I was supposed to be. But there were two guys that were going to get lab works done that were in front of me. So I counted them 1, 2, and that lady was not supposed to be there. And so what I did without saying a damn word was I slid myself into the spot that I was supposed to be in. I didn't care what the lady behind me thought because she wasn't supposed to be there. I know that there were other people that she cut, but I'm gonna handle me first. And so after I slid myself into the position I was supposed to be in, I made a slight turn towards the back because the people in the front are supposed to be there. The ones behind me, not so much. I know they cut a few people because the gentleman that was behind me was not behind me. He was a few people back. It's Monday morning. I'm gonna say what I need to say, and if people that were cut wanna say something, they can. So again, I made a little turn, little shift to the back so that they're aware that I'm directing what I'm about to say to the back. So in a tone that was not whispered, I said, "There's a line, for sake." Dead silence. No one says anything. And I gave the lady behind me a little bit of a look and I shook my head. These are freaking adults and they don't understand that. The people that were supposed to be behind me that got cut didn't say anything. And I feel like by saying that, I was giving them the opportunity to speak up because you just got cut. But if they weren't gonna speak up about it, like, said my piece, you know? Yeah, that was my morning yesterday. I make no apologies for it. Why? People just like, are you freaking kidding me? I just mind blown. I can't. Piss me off. I was a mad little idle lady yesterday.